Welcome to the Love The Padel podcast, episode 2, part 2. Absolutely outstanding start last week with the Corquera Cup head showdown between Mike and Javo. And tonight I'm joined by the one and only Charlie Linas, the Padel Queen herself, a woman who I've met and got friends with here in Dubai, and she's really inspired me on my journey into padel, and I thought I'd welcome her as our first female guest, and also first the worst, second the best guest second here tonight. Charlie, welcome to the Love The Padel podcast. Welcome to Love Padel.
Thanks for having me.
Charlie, tell us a little bit about yourself, but first and foremost, let's talk about the Corquera Cup, because you hosted us at your club, Padel Pro. It was the last outdoor event we're going to do for the season, and what an event it was.
It was an event. If you could blend like comedy and chaos and paddle is the only way I can describe it. I have never seen anything quite like it. The passion, the energy, seeing you guys on court. But I will say, and I said this throughout the night, guys are harsh. Guys are tough. If girls spoke to each other the way you guys did, sometimes I was like, is that banter? Is it not? But like, it was all in jest, and it was all great team spirit, and it was really good to be a part of. So thanks for having me as well.
I'm not sure it was all in jest. There was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think there's an undercurrent, and you've been texting me.
Yeah, I can't work it out.
I put Charlie in our group, in the boys group, because in a weird way, you are one of the lads, if that makes sense. Obviously, you're not. You're a very attractive woman, but
I am the lad. I'm one of the lads.
You are one of the lads. And you put a post up saying, I feel a bit outnumbered, but we put you in the group, and you've seen the banter post-tournament, and it's harsh. It's harsh, right?
Yeah.
People really mean it. Big Mike versus Javo. Let's just give because all listeners, obviously, they heard last week the whole build-up to the cup, and I just want to set the scene, right? So, Padel Pro, Friday, 30th of May. I'm down there at 3 p.m. with Charlie, with Smurd, setting up. There's people there coming in, and I'm looking around thinking, we're a few players short, and it's getting to like 10 past 6, and we had a hard start at 6:30. We had to have players on court, and the captain of the team, Javo himself, was late. He'd been out the night before. He can lie about it to people, but we all know he'd been out the night before. He let his team down.
He wasn't just late. He was an hour late.
He was an hour late, and so was the stabiliser.
Sorry, Javo.
And music, to be fair to the music man, his car broke down, so I can accept that one. But Javo and stabiliser let the team down, and they lost points in their first game. So picture this, listeners. Picture this. Javo is 2-0 down before a ball is even played, right? He misses the first round of games. After round 1, Team Mike are 3-2 up. After round 2, it's 5-all. After round 3, it's 8-7 to Team Javo. The one game remaining at the end of round 4, the names out of a hat round, is myself and Jay Wynn for Team Mike versus Ace Ventura, Rico and Stu White on court number 2, surrounded by all our teammates. Me and Jay Wynn go down 5-3. We fight back to 5-all. It goes to tiebreak. We win the tiebreak. I think it was like 9-7. And it all goes off. It just goes off. People are on court cheering, wild celebrations. It's a 10-all tie. And we'd agreed before the round started that if there was a tie, Javo and Mike would go best on best and pick the best player. Mike obviously picked Smurd. Smurd is, even though I won the MVP on the night, which I was so pleased about, 4 from 4 wins, and receiving the J. Damrell Trophy with my friend who died, Mike picks Smurds, Javo picks Rico, and my team Mike beat Javo in the playoff on a tiebreak, 7-6. Unbelievable scenes.
It was so good.
And then even better was the after party in Fibbers. We all got on to Fibbers, and we were there till like 2:30 in the morning, Irish dancing. It was unbelievable. The scenes we had in
You know what?
Fibbers.
That's all about, though. That's what it's all about. At the end of the night, you all come together, you all have a bit of crack, it's a laugh, and it's a great way to spend a Friday night. So credit to all the players, though. It wasn't just banter, it wasn't just joke. There was some seriously good paddle going on. There was some good games, good rallies, amazing level of paddle, and yeah, it was actually really enjoyable to be a part of.
Yeah, and you asked me to play on Saturday, but I was in no fit state to play Saturday. Even though I don't drink, and I had a real late night, my knee was blown up.
Yeah,
I had to play Saturday morning in our social, but I have committed to play for your birthday, which is coming up on the 14th of June.
This is true. We're doing our Nations Cup. So you'll be Team England. I'll also be Team England. I'm trying to think. I've invited so many people. It's going to be dominantly England versus England. But no, it's good. No, we have a mixture. It's good.
Can people still enter? Can we advertise it now for people to come and join and play?
Yeah, Padel Pro, 14th of June, 6 o'clock start, Nations Cup, open sea level. Also my birthday. Hope that's a great selling point. Let's go. I think we can open up to 20 teams. We only opened it up today, and I think we're like halfway there with teams so far. So yeah, if you fancy it, guys, get yourself down. Me and Alex are playing. We're not playing together, but we can't have the harsh banter that you had with your guy friends. Because as much as I think I'm one of the lads at times, I actually think I may cry at some of the banter that you guys have.
Well, get yourself down, get yourself signed up. Let's talk. Let's go into. We've done the Corkwearer Cup. The Corkwearer Cup will be returning. We're going to do it biannually in Dubai, but also we've been in a meeting today, and the Corkwearer Cup will be going global in 2026. Exciting times. We are doing a couple of tours. Very, very exciting times. Okay. So you will be getting an invite. You can come and be my partner in one of the Corkwearer Cups. Not a problem. You can come and join the team. I think you've done your qualification, your initiation into the group now.
You deserve a spot.
You deserve a spot, 100%. And even Big Mike said, Charlie's not a bad player. Even in that warm...
You know what? I think, though, I do think that obviously, if I got onto, like, a football pitch with a load of guys, they're naturally going to think, like, mate, she's just here. And I mean, no, football's wrong because there are very talented female football players out there. But I do think I give a deceiving impression because everyone's warm-ups for the guys are, like, in the gym, doing some weights, whatever, and I'm there, like, putting my lip gloss on and, like, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, she's really naff. Like, it's just... Sometimes like I hit a bad first ball and I can see their face and I'm like, oh, here we go.
Really
and then I hit some because I'm pretty aggressive and I hit some like...
You're a really good player. Right. I love playing with you. I love it. It's honestly, for all the girls I've met in paddle so far, you and Colleen are by far the best combination of talent and just good banter and good crack.
Do you know what? I think that carries me far, which is good. I'm not the most technical player, but... I think I'm good crack on court and it's always a good game, so I think that's what carries me through.
It's about the energy. The energy you give out is elite energy, elite level energy. Right, let's talk a bit about paddle and business because I really want to get into C&C Padel because I first got to know you and sent you an invite. The lads were like, in our group, we're just growing Love The Padel saying, we need to team up with some other societies. We played a couple of other people, so I said, let's get a mixed double with C&C Padel. So I'd send you a few messages on Instagram, you messaged back, and we haven't done it yet, but by the end of this call, we will set a date. But tell us about C&C Padel. How did it start, and who's Claire?
So C&C Padel started with myself and a lady called Claire Stobart, who I actually used to work for. She owns and runs the most phenomenal members private health club in Cheshire. So I've known her socially for about 20 years, or 15 years. And then I started working for her and I became super passionate about her business and what she did at the gym and just everything that she upheld as a person in business and what she put forward to her members and what was on offer there. So I worked for her, was on reception and I did all her sales and marketing for her at the gym and completely fell in love with it. About 2.5 years in, not just that role, but the environment that I was in at home. I'm 27 now, about to turn 28. I was about 25 at the time. I was like, it's my time to go and see what's out there in the world. But one thing that my dad, that I've upheld in any role in kind of my life that I've done since I've been younger, is my dad has always said, when you work, to a degree, you work for the rest of your life, do what you enjoy. He's like, you have to enjoy what you enjoy. And I've really held that close to me because it's meant that I'm super passionate about everything I do, so I put my all into it. So part of my role from when I was working with Claire was seeing what was out there, seeing new fitness trends, seeing new different classes. I had her doing all sorts. Honestly, I've taken her to aerial yoga where we've hung off the ceilings. We've done the most bizarre things. I mean, come on, we need to go try this. You have to stand on your head for 10 minutes and then wear slippers on your hands and run around and all sorts of weird stuff like that. Not quite, but stuff like that. So the first paddle courts opened up near us in Wilmslow. I was like, come on, let's go check it out. I was like, we'll just have a hit around. We'll see what it's like. We'll see what it's all about. It was kind of part of my job at the time. And so we went down. And the one thing that I think everyone can agree, if you're listening, will say is the word that everyone uses from the first time they step on court to the first time they step off is, I'm obsessed.
Yes.
I'm hooked. I'm obsessed. And I think the that obviously resonated with us straight away. You know, naturally, you know, we are sports people, we're competitive, we wanted to get into it straight away. So us being us, we're there, it was winter time, it was snowing, it was pitch black, and the two of us were just on court hitting balls back and forth. And we're like, how do we get good? How do we get good? And then I think when C&C started, she was over here in Dubai. We'd actually been out the night before, and we'd got back in super late, and we were sat hungover at breakfast, and we just had a game at like 7 a.m. in the blazing heat in Dubai. And we were posting again on our Instagram, and I thought, oh, everyone's going to be sick of me posting about paddle on my Instagram. They're going to be like, oh, so I was like, let's make a designated Instagram page for, even if it's just for us to enjoy, all of our paddle content, and we can travel the world with it, and we can see where it goes. And that's literally, we sat at the Alnessy, we had breakfast, and we're like, what do we call it? And then we were like, a little bit hungover, a little giddy, and she was like, Claire and Charlie. And I was like, C&C. And literally, that's how it started. And do you know what? It was the best decision I made. It's got me where I am. It's got me my job. It's got me some great collaborations. It's got me some great friends. All from literally just starting a little Instagram page.
That's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing to see the power of social. And you are actually so good at creating engaging content. And I honestly, I rate it so highly. But what is the mission? If you had to give an elevator pitch, what is the mission of C&C Padel? What is the mission?
C&C Padel, obviously I can only talk for myself in this. Obviously it's Claire and Charlie, but her goals and her dreams and where she's going to get to and whatnot. She has a family, she's married, she's in a very different position than me. But for myself involved in the page, I want to be a public figure within paddle, but not, you know, I'm not sat here saying I'm the best paddle player in the world. I'm not sat here saying that I am, you know, going to be in the England team. But what I am sat here saying is that I would love my page to aspire women in particular, but it could be anyone, but women to get involved in the sport. Whether that's because they like to look at my page and they see a cute outfit and they think, well, I need somewhere to wear that too, so I'm going to go on the court, or we create engaging events, or we create, you know, just a community that people can join. But online gives you the presence to be able to do it worldwide. And I want people to feel a part of something. That's what I want to do. And yeah, I think I'm getting there.
I love that because it's so genuine, and I love your authenticity for inspiring women. We've spoke about it in depth about how do we get more women into the game. How do you manage that balance of your business development role at Padel Pro, which I know you're massively passionate about and you really care about the One Central Club, which you're at the majority of the time, and also that passion of growing the women's game? Obviously you're trying to intertwine the two, but how do you manage that?
Do you know what? I manage it perfectly because it is my job now.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing. Getting paid for it.
I do it for Padel Pro now. You know, yes, it's you could call them C&C girls or whatever you want, but anyone that comes to me then becomes a part of Padel Pro, and I have a facility that I can host them all now. I actually have such a good foundation. I have all the coaches there, so if they need lessons, I can pass them straight on to the Padel Pro coaches. So it actually just facilitated what I was doing and actually allowed me to take it up a level. And I can do what I was doing as a passion project now as a full-time job, you know, learning about the sport, getting involved in the community and just everything is now also classified as work. And I'm so lucky. I never feel like I go for a day's work. And I actually never thought I would have anywhere that I valued or loved as much as when I worked at Space. I always thought that was a really lucky opportunity that I fell across, and, you know, nowhere ever quite will be the same as there. But I'm pretty close with Padel Pro, the team that I work with, what we stand for. So Padel Pro was the first standalone paddle club in the UAE.
Yeah.
So at the heart of what we are is community. So obviously paddle in Dubai is a hugely saturated sport, and every court has its different niche. So you have like your Instagrammable courts or your courts that collaborate with big brands and this and that. Padel Pro at its heart is our community, and that's what I thrive from. And yeah, it did resonate to work as well. So I couldn't be luckier, really.
I'm actually on a tour at the minute, going around. Did our first review with yourself at Padel Pro and Central last week, and I'm going to be going around all the clubs in Dubai, making a video, just checking out the facilities, and I absolutely love it because genuinely, paddle, obviously after playing sport and working in sport, professional sport for a long time, it's hard as you get to your middle age. I'm a little bit older than you, about 10, 11 years older than you.
No.
More. I'm 43 now, just turned 43. And like yourself, obviously I'm being dubbed the Padel King, and I'm not the best player at paddle whatsoever, but I don't think I've found many people as passionate about paddle as me. I always say, yeah, I'm not going to be the best player in the world, but I'll challenge anyone to be the most passionate about paddle in the world. And that's
Yeah.
why I've nicknamed you the Padel Queen, because I've found that perfect match in in a woman who's just as passionate about paddle as me. And I think we are pretty much geeks. But you know what? I've always
We
been a
are.
geek, whether it's been
Someone,
music or rugby. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it's the passion, and I love it. And hopefully we can really make a difference. I think Padel Pros, like you said, it's an outstanding facility. I really like Hussein. And what's the lady
oh, he's
called you
fantastic.
play with? It was unbelievable.
Ali.
Oh
So we
my
have
god.
our core management team and Hussein, Ali and David, Patricia and Jenny, but Ali and David play, they're fantastic, they're amazing. And Hussein is our CEO and founder, and his vision and his strategic mind behind the club, he, like I say, we're the first standalone in the UAE. He saw a vision for this. I'm new to the
Yeah.
game. Sometimes I feel a bit silly talking about it because I'm like, God, I'm 2.5 years into a sport that's not only been around for forever, but so like I say, like you, I'm not coming in saying I'm a guru and an expert or anything like that. But like you, I'm coming in saying, guys, like let's bring the vibe, like let's spread it. But someone met you the other day and they called me and they said, I think I've just met the male version of you.
Like
And I was like,
me.
what do you mean? And someone met you and said, I think I've just met the male version of you. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, honestly, I've never known someone that loves paddle and talks as much as you. And I was like, love it.
I absolutely
Love
fucking
it.
love it. I'm all over the paddle vibe. Look, that's where Love The Paddle came from. Like, just being on court with the guys, just been through a difficult breakup, and you know when life kicks you with the balls. Well, you probably don't know when life kicks you in the balls, but
I'm your lad, but
yeah.
not them.
Well, when life kicks you in the balls, Charlie, sometimes people turn to drink, people turn to drugs, people turn to,
Mm.
and I've turned to a brand new addiction, and that's paddle. And I got the bug, and I'm playing with David Dougal and Rhino, I think DT, or maybe a bit before DT. And I said to David Dougal, I looked across at him, and I love Dougal. And Dougal's like the marketing director for the Ricast Group. He's got a really high, intense job. I looked at him and I went, I just love the paddle, and I love the boys, and you're really helping me. And because of my Yorkshire accent, I went, love the paddle, love the boys, and it became this kind of running joke. And then it became a brand, and now it's like, gone to Love the Paddle. Now we've got an app in development. Now we're going to be doing trips abroad.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. We've got tournaments every month, and then we're going to go into every week tournaments from October. So a super excited journey. But we've got so much going on Love Paddle, and we are bringing you into it tonight. You and Padel Pro coming into the family tonight. You're joining. We are enjoying
We're
the hit
in,
from
we're in.
tonight. But what's the most exciting development at Padel Pro? Because you've been telling me about a club coming. Can you talk about it on the podcast? Can we talk about it?
Uh, I can give some hints.
Come on, give
So we
some hints.
have
You said it's the best club
we
you've
have
ever seen.
a best club genuinely hand on heart I've ever seen.
Wow.
The only hint I can give you is it's coming to the UAE, so it's
Wow.
not far, so you'll be able to play with us. The only hint I can give you for now. And we're going into, well, we already are international. We're already in Indonesia, in Jakarta, and there's plans to, I think, expand. I can't say too much. That's Hussein's area, but it's.
I
I
think
saw the vision from the business when I first joined, and I think that's what excited me as well. That I saw that, you know, we weren't just stopping where we are. There was growth, and as the sport grows, and and what I also really like about Hussein is he sees that the sport is now becoming such a lifestyle.
yeah.
So paddle isn't just paddle anymore. Paddle is you're not nipping out for a game of paddle.
It's fashion.
You're going for a game of paddle. You're having a coffee for your friend. You're probably grabbing an ice bath or something after. It's a whole lifestyle, and we're growing with that lifestyle in every aspect and every avenue that it takes us. We're not closed off to just being a paddle court and whatnot. So I think that's the really exciting part of it. There's so many businesses within a business that it's amazing.
It's awesome. If you could open it, because I can't say too much, but Love the Paddle will be involved with opening clubs in the future.
Oh,
It will be.
exciting.
It will be, and it won't be competition because we're all on the same page.
No, of course.
We're all in this together, but it's going to happen without a shadow of a doubt.
Nice.
And it's really super, super exciting, like the potential developments. Let's just say potential, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe it when I see it, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
we've got a vision, and it's probably very different to your vision. But it's exciting.
Listen, there's
obviously.
room for everyone. There's room for everyone.
I've got a question though. But if you could open a paddle club anywhere in the world, where would it be, and what would it look like?
I've actually begged Hussein us to open one in America. purely because that's a personal passion project. I'm obsessed with America. I love America. I see myself living there in 5 to 10 years. I see myself raising my family. I think it's because everyone says I'm a lot. ADHD, I'm hyper, I talk a lot. And the American do a lot. I don't want to stereotypical, like, or whatever the word is, all of them, but like, I like sometimes English are like, shut up, Charlie, like you're giving me a headache. And I'm like, I know, I give myself a headache. But the Americans are so on that vibe and they're so full of energy as well, from what I've come across personally. So yeah, I would love to open a Paddle Pro in America. But I mean, listen, that's from a personal standpoint, but that would be really cool for me. That would be a full circle moment. That would be one of those vision board things that you tick off, that something that I never would have dreamed of combining all came together. And I also think there's room in America. Obviously, pickleball's huge there, but I see some really cool clubs there. But I definitely think there's growth for it. It's not a saturated market out there just yet.
I think Australia and America will be huge for paddle because neither of them have really
Australia,
got
but I
that
can't do the
paddle vibe yet.
sorry, I can't do the creepy crawlies in Australia.
I'd say where I'd love to open one, hand on heart, New Zealand. New Zealand's the most beautiful place I've ever been. The
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are
I've been, yeah,
unbelievable. They love the sport, and I think for
yeah,
me, professional athletes and celebrities are getting into paddle. Paddle is going to be global, and we are right at the start of the curve, without a doubt. And I think
agreed.
that we can really start to move the dial in terms of empowering women. And I really want to create a safe space for women so who can come into the spotlight. I met a girl in the lift today, and she looked me up and down, and she went, "Gym, paddle, what is it?" I went, "I'm the Padel King." I went, "Do you play paddle?" And she's like, "No, but I'd love to go out." I'm all like, "Give me a
I've had
number."
so many of those
I'm adding
conversations
into
in
the
the
group right
lift.
now. She's called Maya.
Yeah,
She's from
love it.
Croatia, and she's in. So it's just, but
Amazing.
honestly, I'm like the biggest weirdo. Like, I'm not, honestly, I'm not a creep. I'm not a weird guy. If I come up to you in the street and ask you if you play paddle, I genuinely just want to get you into the game. I'm not trying to take you out. I'm not trying to get
Yeah,
on. I just want you to
that's
pick up
that's
a
why
racket.
my that's why my best friend said they don't have a boyfriend, because she's like, Charlie, you need to be more girly. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you can't go up to boys in clubs and high five them and ask them if they play paddle. And I was like, why not? And she was like, it's not very flirty of you. And I'm like, well, if they don't, it's a no. I'm
Yeah,
not going to date them.
100%.
So, like, I'd rather just, cut that one out straight away and find out.
100 million percent. It's a definite must for me going forward. Let's talk a bit about women in paddle, because my question to you is, what's holding more women back from picking up a racket, and how do we break that barrier down? What can we do? I thought it's the perfect time to talk about this with you because you've got the best insight. So give us your take on that.
Do you know what? I come from a biased point of view in terms of like I'm naturally sporty and kind of a have a go at anything attitude. But coming into paddle has really opened my eyes for women. Like I'm just like, come on, why wouldn't you? And then same even when I worked at Space and people join the gym, and you see that women hold a lot of fear of judgment,
Yeah, that's one.
that whether guys either don't have that or hide it better than women do. And I would say that the main thing that I've seen, and again, similar to when ladies joined the gym and they were a bit more apprehensive, was they were like, what if I'm not very good, or I'm gonna look silly. That's the thing. Like we had this conversation when we sat down for this podcast. I was like, right, got my lighting and blah blah. And you're like, God, girls have so much to worry about,
Yeah,
and girls do naturally feel silly, so they may shy away from something that they think is going to be out their comfort zone that might make them look a bit silly, whatever it is. So what I really try to do is break that barrier of it being such a huge thing to step on court, and just like, just do it. I'm like, honestly, promise me this, do it once, I'll do it with you, it'll be fun. And if you don't like it, you never have to step on court again. But I can 99% of the time promise you that you're gonna love it.
yeah,
And I would genuinely say I'm 99% right on that. Some people, it's just not their thing. That's fine. I've tried golf. I don't love golf. I can't get my head around it. I have friends that love golf. Amazing. But I would say that, like, also you can have so many varied levels in paddle as well. And I think I've seen a lot of women love it because you have obviously, like, in Dubai we do obviously letters, don't we? So we do from like D minus all the way up to B.
yeah.
Is there an A?
There's an A.
You know.
Professionals A.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's what
Professionals,
I'm looking to
obviously.
get to one day.
Ooh. But I think even at the D minus level, there's so much to offer in paddle in terms of tournaments and actual genuine things that you can get involved at a very low level. That's why I get excited for women to join it, because I also think that women get apprehensive because they're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to go in, I'm going to be the rubbish one, aren't I? I'm going to be the one that's like picked last, or there's going to be nothing for me to do. And there's something to do for every level, which I think is amazing. But I think just my main thing is just breaking the stigma and getting them on court. And then after that, it's pretty easy. I work my charm, we have a laugh, and next thing you know, they forget that they're playing paddle and they're just having fun, which I think is the main thing.
Without a doubt, I think you hit the nail on the head there in terms of like having fun, meeting new people, meeting like-minded people. Dubai to me seems like one of those places where you can lose yourself. You can get involved with some like going out and just being, just in clubs and stuff. Whereas, the paddle community I've found very similar to obviously my church community. I'm a big Christian and I've just found a new church in Dubai, which is super exciting for me. I miss my church at home after my kids second, if that makes sense. So my kids, obviously, I miss them the most, and then after that, it's my church. I had a long conversation with Warren, who was one of the pastors at church the other day, on my way to the Coquera Cup, asking him some life advice on a couple of situations that are going on in my life at the minute. And one of the guys from church, Aaron Baxter, told me about the new church, City Lights. So if there's anyone listening to this podcast who wants to come to church in Dubai, I'm your man. If you want to go Sunday mornings, 9 or 11.
I might come with you.
You fancy a bit of church? We'll come and rejoice and praise Jesus.
Yeah, I'm not opposed.
It's a really, a healthy way to connect to your spirituality. Whatever you believe in, I think it's well worth giving it a go. Best day of my life getting baptized, honestly. It's God's honest truth. And absolutely would recommend coming along and just sitting in and listening and just feeling it, just leaning. I would say just leaning.
It's a feeling. But I think that's part of everything. Even you can relate your religion and your spiritual beliefs or whatever it is, even to sports, like feeling a part of something. And do you know what I really think as well paddle makes you feel? I think as you get older, there's two sides to it. One, as you get older, it's hard to make friends. I know that sounds really stupid, but it is, especially when you move to Dubai. So, okay, you've got your going out culture and you can make a friend at a bar or whatever. In Dubai, to be fair, I would say over the last year, the communities here have boomed, whether it's a running community, whether it's a paddle, whether it's a high rocks community, they've boomed. But I would say a lot of that stems from, like I say, it's hard to make friends as an adult to feel a part of something. I think it's been so ingrained in us from a young age, going to school, being a part of a class, being a part of a sports team at school, that if you're not naturally sporty, when you leave school, there aren't too many communities to get involved in, unless you're sporty.
100%.
So I think paddle has really, in my eyes, brought that. I've never seen people unite the way they have and do what they're doing in this paddle movement. I think it's amazing to be a part of.
I think it's honestly, genuinely family. It's family that I don't have any, and just to touch on family, because one of your best friends, if not your best friend, is Taylor Ward, who you played with Riyadh, her husband, Riyadh Mahrez.
Yes,
in
actually very good.
JG Cup, and she's announced today another little pair of Riyadh Mahrez left foots will be joining the world. Another baby. Are you excited for Taylor and Riyadh?
Honestly, I can't wait. Like I say, family, she's like family. It's so funny. We've been friends for like 20 years, and all of my best friends have had kids, and I'm immensely proud of them. And it's so funny that we're all on these different journeys. They're all having kids and whatever, and I'm like signing up for like a paddle tournament or buying my next new racket while they're off out buying prams and things. But no, it's amazing. She's a fantastic. She is another one as well who was very much like, it's 5 years ago, 3 years ago, and we never would have said let's go for a game of tennis. Let's go down to the beach and let's do whatever. But now, like, she's like, hey, I've arrived in Dubai. Like, when can we play? Like, it's and even it keeps you connected with people. So people that fly over now from the UK that I probably ordinarily wouldn't have seen if they were here on vacation or on holiday or whatever it is, and will text me and say, do you want a game of paddle? And now it's such a social thing. There's people that are on my level. There's people that are lower than me, but I still want to see them and socialise with them. Like, the connections it brings. And also, do you know what I love? You can play with a 70-year-old man on court and a lady like myself or whatever, and it's such a variation of ages and genders and backgrounds, whatever it is, and when you're on court, it's just paddle, and it's so good. It brings you together and it's amazing.
I love that. But one thing I love about watching your content is your style. Like, we had a little bit of a joke about it the other day, because I literally wear Love The Padel kit day in, day out, morning, noon and night. I've got a Love The Padel casual wear t-shirt and now a Love The Padel on the back. This is like a variation from my actual playing kit. But you take paddle fashion to another level. If anyone's seen the C&C page, you've got a million outfits, you're showing it off. How important is the fashion to build confidence for a start, and also for the female players coming in. And where do you get outfits from? Give us some. I want this podcast to give some real takeaways for female players.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, going back to the first time that you step on court, and this is my mentality. If I feel good in my head, I say I play better. Whether I do or I don't, at least if I get some nice pictures, I'm looking all right. Even if I had a bad game, I've got some content to post. But I would honestly say to the girls, like, just own it. If it's your first time, have fun with the whole experience. Go shopping before, buy a cute outfit, step on court, take some cute pictures, treat your paddle as an experience. So it's not just this heavy, God, I was rubbish. I only hit 3 balls out of 10 and whatever. But did I do it looking cute? Yeah, I did. Did I do it and did I have fun and did I take some cute pictures and did someone ask me where my cute skirt was from? And like make it an experience, make it fun. Like, we're not going to play to get to the Olympics, we're going to have good fun. So and again, I feel like if I wear a cute paddle outfit, it engages people more. People say, where do you get that from? And then I'm like, oh, do you play? And and then again it generates that whole community vibe around it. But going back to where do I get my outfits from? Here, there, and everywhere. Honestly, I will go from wearing an Amazon tennis skirt with a Zara top and make it look cute to Aloe to Lululemon to whatever. Tesco's do some really nice stuff as well. Honestly, like totally varied, and I think I love to style it up. And I'm not a big party animal. I'm not a big go-outer. Is that a word, go-outer? Yeah, I'll make it one. So I'm not super into my fashion in that way. And I have one of my best friends, Phoebe, she's super fashionable. I see her throw all these outfits on together, and I'm like, how do you do that? I'd literally look awful. So I feel like I've come into my own with my paddle sets. And I was like, where did you get that from? And I'm like, okay, I feel like I'm coming into my own now with that. And it's good fun. I enjoy it.
I think
I just need to make some money off now posting my outfits.
we need to do a
And I can do
collab.
it.
We need to do a collab range. So we've got a range coming out of active wear and casual wear. I think we need to do a range, a collab range. C&C Padel, Love The Padel, women's cute outfits.
Yeah.
Felt cute, might delete later kind of outfits. So
Exactly.
I'm going to give my mate Ricky a shout because in terms of fashion and paddle, he always comes with the fire. He's always wearing the 2 pieces. He's got
Love it.
whoever it is. I don't know the brands. I'm just not cool. I wear Love The Padel kit every day in out. And you know what? That's that what I rock. I'm not a cool guy. But who out of your
You
crew
are.
is the most cool? Who is the person who you go, wow, why does she look so good all the time? Is it you or is there anybody else who can match your style?
In terms of like their vibe, Ali, who we mentioned before,
Always
she
cool.
just she's just so effortlessly cool.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't say not that her outfits aren't on point. She just wears Padel Pro stuff all the time, but she looks amazing and she's just effortlessly cool. Again, that's like an aura, a vibe, and she plays well, which is also just like awesome. And then obviously I just like with Claire. I think we're very similar in our outfits, hence obviously our little brand that we have going on. But yeah, I think I think she's someone on the paddle court that I'm like, she appreciates the cute skirt and the little matching jacket.
How so we spoke players. Let's give a shout out. So I've been on this journey in sport, and one of my one of my favourite kind of achievements, stroke memories. I met a kid called it's called now Darius. Darius as a kid, and he was a young player at a Rugby AM camp. So I had this brand called Rugby AM. Darius Carter. Darius Carter. So Darius, really nice kid, and he came along to a Rugby AM camp when he was about 10 years old in Oldham, and on that camp, Ashton Golden, who was then like a 19-year-old kid at Leeds, young Jamaican kid, and I'm from the Jamaican community. I work for the Jamaican national team, and I was looking for players. And I spoke to his mum, Debbie, at the time. I said, he's going to be a really good player. I saw a lot of myself in him. I didn't know his dad, and I saw a lot of tough anger, but great talent and great personality. And I just thought, I says, you know what? Keep in touch. Here's my number. If he ever needs anything, let's just make sure we're there for him. Me and Ashton. He met Ashton that day, and Ashton really inspired him to want to play for Jamaica. And I remember his mum always in touch. This is from a 10-year-old, always in touch with me, saying, Darius wants to play for Jamaica. And last year, when he was 18, playing for Huddersfield first team, we gave him his first shirt for Jamaica. He came and played his first international game for
That's
Jamaica.
amazing.
And Ashton, who is now the captain, who I kind of helped make captain during my tenure working with Jamaica, gave him his shirt and is now his captain at international level. So that is a great
That's a full
story.
circle moment.
Honestly, out of everything I've achieved in my life in sport, that is right up there in seeing a young kid achieve his dreams and fulfill his potential and not end up in trouble. And that to me is, it chokes me up because I've seen so many lads waste talent, and that to me, looking at Darius, the man he's become and what he could become going forward, is anything he wants to be. And I'm glad I played a small part in that journey and got him to where he wants to be. But who in your journey so far in C&C, who surprised you, come on court maybe nervous and not really, and picked up a racket and become a new version of themselves, and someone who can maybe got close to or kicked on and become a really good player? Who's that person?
Yeah. Firstly, that story is amazing, by the way. So you need to give yourself credit there, because you'll have lit something in him that will have pushed him to where he is. So, the people in my life that have supported me through something that don't realise what a huge part they played in my life. So congrats to you, by the way, on that. But with that, I'd say a good one recently is my friend Leanne. She's a lady here in Dubai, and she's still a complete beginner.
Too many girls.
Yeah, too many girls. Yeah. But do you know what? She's obviously an example of recent, but she's taken it and she's made it into her own, and she's kind of made her own community within, I kind of grouped them all together with C&C, and then they've kind of gone off and done their own thing, and they all went out for a brunch together the other day, and it's a real mixture of ladies, and I've seen her come into her own. And you know what it is, I see people come on court that enjoy it, and they really enjoy it, and they get the addiction feeling, but I see the ones that get hooked, and because I will say, I can facilitate a couple of sessions a week and a few tournaments and whatnot, but you have to put the legwork in between. You have to do the lessons in between. You have to be proactive in sorting your own games. I'm not going to carry you through it all. I'll be there to facilitate it, but you have to. And she's one of the people that I've seen her be like, get me another game, Charlie. I'm on anything. And then she's creating her own community. So she was one that I was feel really proud that I got her on court for the first time and was a part of her beginning journey, and now she's really thriving at it. So yeah, that was really cool. And Claire's daughter was another one that I thought was really funny. The other day it was World Book Day, and she went as a paddle player.
Wow.
So I just thought that was so funny. Again, not a huge story, but I was like, okay, this is getting ingrained in kids' minds, and they're thinking it's cool and something that they might look up to and whatnot. So that was really nice as well. Not saying she was replicating Claire or I, but
my little boy, Bo, he's like a mini me. And he came over to Dubai recently, and we played paddle every day. And to see how good he got within a few days, it breaks my heart that he's not here full time, but hopefully one day he will be. And he could be. That kid, honestly, is so good, so determined, so professional at such a young age. Hopefully he can get into paddle more, and we'll get him over here to do some school and get into paddle day in, day out. And that was my dream, really, to give him the chance to do whatever he wants to do in life. It'd be unbelievable. But that's a great story about Leanne. Leanne's a first-class human, and I love Peter as well.
She's amazing.
Ferrari driver.
But it's funny that people come into your life. My dad, as I mentioned to you, had a really, really unfortunate accident at Christmas, and is now left with a brain injury. And Leanne's Pete went through something similar with his brain, and they have been a fundamental part in my dad's recovery and in a real help for me. And then that came, and I really came to have that conversation with her about my dad, because we got to know each other through paddle properly. She's my best friend's mum's best friend. That's how we knew each other fundamentally. But then we got to know each other on a personal level through paddle when she started to play. Then we chatted more, and now she's become a pivotal person in my life that, and so if she can support me and my family on our journey, the least I can do is support her on her paddle journey. It gives me tremendous joy, and I love it when I see her on court and her creating her own thing within that. So that's amazing. But yeah.
Big shouts to the Paddle and Prosecco ladies. I love that.
Love it.
Love it.
Love
L-O-V-E, love it. Tell us a bit about how the mindset and culture you've seen change in Dubai since you started C&C, because obviously clubs that are becoming a bit more welcoming to women, they're understanding a bit more membership. you guys do it better than anyone else I've been to. Padel Pro does feel like a community. That's why we exist, right? We exist because clubs don't really do that membership community bit well. So we kind of bring people together and take them to clubs. But you guys do it well. But what change have you seen since you started C&C?
Well, I've just seen paddle just become, like I said before, just so much more of a lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think when I played paddle in I say the early days, honestly, the Spanish are going to listen to this and be like, the early days, they're going to think we're just so, like, out of touch. But I've just seen it become so inclusive and exciting. I've seen paddle clubs do some really cool collabs with like I say, big fashion retailers or the F&B space or whatever it is. And I've really seen it become a lifestyle rather than just the game, which I think is the main thing. I think it makes it exciting, especially for women. Women love an event, they love a goodie bag, they love a freebie, they love a chance to get dressed up. And I've really seen it turn into, like I say, a lifestyle rather than just a sport.
Well, I'm going to shock you right now because I'm going to do a fashion collab, right? A Padel King. I'm going to throw it out there right now. A good friend of mine is a guy called Tom Codd. And Tom Codd runs a brand called Penguin. Very cool golf brand and also like a man's fashion brand. But they've just nipped into paddle and they've just started a full paddle and tennis range. I'm going to message Coddy. I'm going to say, mate, send me over a box of paddle stuff and we'll do some modelling and we'll do fashion outfits, some collab.
Me and you need to do a reel.
Me and you'll do a reel. I'll do the modelling for Penguin. You get some brands and we'll do like a fashion off and I'll actually wear some different outfits and see if I've got the swag,
I'll get you a score. We'll see how we get on.
Yeah, we'll get there. I'm not shy. I'm definitely not shy, so I'm sure we'll be all right. Right, let's jump into the mindset game. 2 more sections to go of questions. 41 minutes in. This is the longest one so far. I love this. It's felt like 5 minutes. What's the biggest mental block new players face, and how do you coach them through? Because you are a qualified coach as well.
I am. I'm not going to sit here and say so if my coaches at Padel Pro heard this, they'd be like, "Get her off now." But I will say, like, get her off. But I will say, yes, I have my complication. I could confidently. I'd say my niche is getting beginners on court.
Yeah.
Just getting them to step on court for the first time. Then I'm more than happy to hand them over to the coaches. But at least I can say I've got a license to do that, so we're good. But I'd say the biggest mental block is yourself.
Yeah.
There is nothing stopping you from getting good. Some people are naturally better. I won't lie, we had a girl on court the other day and bless her, it's the first time in my life I've ever seen someone with genuinely no hand-eye coordination.
No
and I was
way.
like, okay. And I was like, okay, but she's there every week having her lessons and most importantly, enjoying it. So I think the main mental block is just my big thing that I've seen is just getting people on court. They're in their own head. My biggest advice, again, as well, is once you've played and you're on court and you're getting into the swing of things, I just say yes. Say yes to any game you get invited to. Say yes to any opportunity that you can go for within the paddle world. Get out your own head, enjoy it, and go from there. And I think also just having someone like, I obviously stand on the sideline and I shout and I cheer and I just make it a fun vibe. And I think like having good people and people that you enjoy playing with. I've played with people and I'm like, oh, I won't play with you again. You've made it like you're either too serious or too like aggy or whatever it is. So find a good group, play with them, and just enjoy it.
100%. I always say that. We'll put the links on the podcast for people to join C&C, join Love The Padel as well. It's yours. Is C&C, C-A-N-D-C Padel. Is that correct on Insta?
Yeah, C&C, but then now my roommate's boyfriend thinks it's called Candice Padel. So now I can't unread it as Candice Padel. But C&C.
C&C Padel, Love The Padel. Get involved. Drop us a DM. We'll get you into the groups. Let's just talk a little bit about that mindset as well. Teaching for it. Do you have a quote? So I love a quote, right? And there's loads of people love a quote. Give us your quote or mantra that you kind of that you through life, but also something that's you live by when you step on court or lead a session.
Do you know what? If anyone that knows me, if you know me now, you'll be thinking in your head what word is just glued to me. It comes out my mouth. I scream it. I don't know why. Now everyone can just all the ladies I've had on court from the beginning and taught say that they can hear me in their head when they're playing now. because I just use the word legend all the time. I'm like, legend. And I'm like, you're a legend. I'm like, honestly, you're amazing. But it's that. And I say that's like, I don't know, it's not quite a mantra, but like, it's my word and I stand by it. Because also, I think the word legend is so, it's what it means to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're a legend within your own right. I think everyone that steps on a paddle court is a legend because you've done it, you've made that move. You know, a legend can be anyone from a true hero that's fought in the war to, you know, someone's grandma.
Yeah.
And I think you're a legend because you stepped on court, you've joined us, you play paddle, and I'm here for it. So yeah, I would say that's not quite a mantra, but that's my thing. And I think anyone that knows me and that's played will be able to hear that, me saying that in their head when they play.
Charlie Linas, to me, you are a legend without a shadow of a doubt. I'll always hold you on that one. My quote would be, I always said this because I've been through all sorts in my life. It's been a really interesting journey. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. I love that.
That's a good one.
I love that. That's mine. And also,
yeah, that's a good one.
When I run nights, so that's written by somebody else, but one that's written by me that I live by literally when I run my events, and it's still so relevant today to everything I'm doing right now. So this is the one that I've probably lived more than anything. Is on my main night that I did when I was 24, when Theo was born. It was called Habit, and underneath it said, "The people make the party." And that was my quote.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And that's it. So with Love The Padel, the people make the party without a shadow of a doubt. The guys and girls in the community just make it what it is.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
So for you, legend. For me, the people make the party. But what's your pre-game ritual? Music, snack, hydration. What's your go-to? I watched your reel of the day, and I do need to get you a mix because you have got the most random music selection, and I'm here for it. Believe me, I'm here for it. Watching you sing along to Gaga in the car. Give us your go-to tune, like pre-game tune for before a game.
My friends hate my music, but thank God. I think this is also why I'm so close with Claire because she, I don't know whether love is a strong word, but she likes my music as well. Country music all the way.
Love it.
Get me a bit of country music on.
My God.
In the car. Stunning. Absolutely. Like, I will show you my country playlist. And if you're into country, I would say I have one of the best country playlists on Spotify.
No way.
I'm stating that now. That's a bold. There's not many bold statements I make, and that is one of them. Like a bit of Irish music, a bit of country music. That's like my thing. Mostly country, some Irish thrown in. Love it. Gets me in the mood. Good vibes. Upbeat. Fast pace. So that is like my get in the headspace for paddle. And then we were joking before, and I was saying, you know, a bit like what's on and get on court and hope for the best.
Well, you know that I make music, and I've actually remixed recently a country tune, Morgan Wallen's. So I'm actually going to send you that now. So after the podcast, you can
go on my playlist,
listen to it, and let me know your thoughts. I had some help, Morgan Wallen's, but yeah, I'm here for that. Also, Aaron Neville, Country House, I think it's called. It was one of my best mates in the world, Lee Hickin. I'm desperate to get him on court. He's an amazing guy. We used to listen because his dad had a country band when we were kids, and so I listened to country music since I was a kid, and we used to go into his room and listen to all this this country music. So that's hilarious. It's hilarious that actually that's even just come out of your mouth. So yeah, amazing times. I love that. What's your snacks?
What's yours?
My tunes Oh man, I'm a DJ, aren't I? So I would say, you know what, everyone. Daniel Taylor is watching this podcast right now going, Leeds chav music. That's what he's saying, because every time we go in court, I just bang on like the old school house and bass line and I get it pumping. I want it pumping. When I'm playing paddle, I need it pumping. So like,
yeah, I'm with you. Yeah. There's nothing worse than when like an Adele song comes on and I'm like, oh God, now's not the time.
I love Adele.
Yeah,
I love Adele, but
I love Adele. I went to saw her in Munich. Amazing.
Did you really? Is she good? Like, she's a Tottenham fan as well.
Amazing.
I'm there for her.
Oh, I know.
She'd be in my top 3, I think, women of all time because she's a Tottenham fan. She'd be up there.
I have a question for you.
Go on then.
I know I'm not the podcast host, but it made me think then. Actually, I think maybe you're going to ask this, but anyway, if you could, who's your top person? Like you said, Adele is like obviously one of your top ladies, but who's your top person to play with? Like who's your like
ever?
Yeah.
Paddle player, Paquita Navarro. Utterly.
No, it can be anyone. It can be
Anyone
anyone.
ever.
Like, it could be like Adele.
Julia Roberts, she's my number one ever. Julia Roberts.
Really?
Julia Roberts is, if I ever think of a woman, so if I had to marry somebody, obviously I've been married in the past, but if I had to marry a woman, I think Julia Roberts is just class as a person, what she stands for, the fact that she's growing old gracefully, she's embracing her grey, she's embracing the fact that
She's
she
listening
gets
to this from you.
wrinkles. She's just, I just think she's just an amazing human, and obviously an amazing actress, and she's just genuinely beautiful, like genuinely inside and out.
I mean, I'm envisioning above your bed, you have like a Julia Roberts poster now. That's what I'm seeing.
No, it's I think if we're talking about a woman I want to help get into paddle, it'd be Julia Roberts. She's probably a few years older.
Love that.
She's be like late 50s now, but she's still firing. Do you know what I mean? And
Love that.
yeah, and then it's all about class, and also for me, I think you've got to be able to talk to someone, and I find now, actually talking about this today about you with Lonnie, and just saying about like young people now. I speak to, because in Dubai you're surrounded by young people all the time, and they've just not nothing to say. But Charlie's a bit different. She's like, she's actually, I speak to you,
the
like,
lad.
yeah, no, it's not. You've genuinely got like, you understand life and you've got life experience, and a lot of people, I think you're just old enough, if that makes sense. You're like past 26. Anyone younger than that, just someone may just head the ball. But interesting place to buy, definitely.
Well, I hope that you get to play with Julia Roberts one day. I'll be very excited.
Who would be your person?
A good one, actually. I had thought about mine before I asked you. But, actually, do you know what? Someone I did like a C&C goal thing, like when we very first started the page. I actually looked back at it the other day, and I did someone that I thought could be quite realistic, because she's in the racket sport world at certain periods of the year. I'd love to play with Kate Middleton.
That's cool.
I think I know that she like hits the ball around here and there at Wimbledon and whatnot. And I thought she'd be a really cool one to play with. I mean, I played with some great people. I played with, and again, like they've now become friends. Jason Manford now, I would genuinely say a good friend, and that's through Padel. Like, could go on. I'm not going to name drop. That's embarrassing. But there's no. I'll give him a shout out. But he's also a fantastic paddle player, and now genuinely a really good friend, and yeah, so it's opened up cool doorways as well in terms of meeting people and whatnot. But yeah, I would say Kate Middleton's my random one, because I'm not like in awe of like obviously like the one person in life I'd want to meet is Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine that she'd want to like run around the paddle court, so I'll give her a break.
I think
I'll take Kate.
Of the footballers, there's a lot of footballers playing paddle now, and like Ravel Morrison's in our group, in our league. So I play the daytime league, and he's full of it. So I'm hoping we beat him, so I can shut him up. So that'd be awesome. I saw Dwight York playing down at Raleigh the other week. Obviously, being a Caribbean guy, I think that'd be pretty cool to have a knock with him, and he looked really good, and he looks unbelievable for his age. He's in like serious shape. Obviously, Dane Bowers is in our group, who's pretty famous, and Dane's a great bloke. He's the most humble, famous person you ever meet in your life. And a lot of people playing paddle. I'd love to play, actually, Roy Keane, because I watch the Overlap podcast like religiously. They all play. David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Gary Neville, they all play. Simon Jordan. But Roy Keane is somebody who I rate as a human. He keeps it real, man. And like, he's always never a dull moment, and it's just like, I think it was really funny to kind of have a game paddle away.
Sorry, I saw Michael McIntyre playing the other day at the Hurlingham Cup.
Yeah.
And I was like, go on, like, it's the most bizarre sport, but it makes me laugh because it's so inclusive.
I was supposed to play with Stormzy at the Sevens last year.
Sick.
Yeah, and basically, his people, he's got obviously invested in Padel Social Club. So he wanted a game, so we was asked by Via, who was running the paddle that day, to come and bring like a few people, a few celebrities down, like Dane Bowers, people like that, to come play. And we had it all set up, and then the Stormzy last minute, his team couldn't make it happen for whatever reason. So hopefully get on the court with Stormzy, Big Mike. I think that'd be cool. I think that'd be cool. I think also he's a fellow Christian as well, so I'd love to talk to him about his beliefs and his faith. I think faith in sport. My old business partner Jamie Jones Buchanan actually took me into church and introduced me to Jesus, and I think that the more I see people like Tyson Fury and how passionate he is about his faith, I think that's something I'd love to explore as I go in paddle is to kind of connect with other sports people and discuss paddle and their faith. I think that's a really powerful factor in anyone's life, whether it's spirituality, whether it's the universe, or whether
I'm
it's
with you.
Jesus or whatever it is. I think it's really fascinating to me. So that's what I'd love to do. If you could change one thing about the paddle world, what would it be and why?
Good question. I mean, again, I have to be very specific to my paddle world.
Yeah.
I'm not like speaking on the larger scale of paddle. I'm talking about let's call my paddle world, the ladies beginner paddle world. What would I change? Something might come to me later, but do you know what? For now, genuinely, there's nothing. There's nothing that I would change.
I'd change one thing.
Tell
So
me.
when I was a kid, I grew up in Winmore. Might Winmore. That's what we used to sing. Where do you come from? And we always tell them we come from Winmore. Mighty Winmore. That were our song as Winmore. Winmore, what is this kid? Penders Panthers. But we had this guy called Mick Durand, and he's an I think he's an ex-teacher, but he had two kids, Chris and Steve, a bit older than me. And all the kids in our estate, pretty tough estate, council estate, and he started a thing called Saturday football. So basically it was a place in a school where on a Saturday morning we went for 3 hours and played football as a community. All the kids from all the estate went up there, they were looked after, and a lot of kids from really, really, really tough situations, like kind of went and had 3 or 4 hours with Mick and Pat and other volunteers who just helped them play football and brought them on. And it was a huge part of growing up from probably 7-year-old till 16, 17-year-old, 10 years. I play football every Saturday morning with my mates from my estate. Probably, that long. Crazy when I think about it. And I think that in Dubai should be done because I don't see enough kids playing paddle, like in the community. And I know kids over here, it's not like kids at home, but why not? Why not just say Saturday mornings?
In saying that, though, I mean, two notes on that. We have a junior training program at Padel Pro, but talking about in the community, I went to look around to Lalagaff the other day, and they've got a paddle court in every community. That's there for like the villas to use, which I thought was really cool to see.
100%. I think what we need though is, like, for instance, I'm talking about JG where I live. JG on a Saturday morning, we book the course out, but what I'd love to see is kids coming down to play for free and like a coach or the club to go, actually guys, we know you've all got loads of money in JG. All the villas pay loads of money to be part of the club. So you know what, on a Saturday we're going to put a coach on, we're going to teach kids for free because we want your kids to play paddle. And there's not that
Jason does that
here.
Actually.
There's not that mindset.
He's done that.
Yeah.
He's done the Jason Ramford Academy in the UK, and he's done that. And another one we're shouting out before we to mention as well. My friend had a charity in the boxing world, and then she got hooked on paddle. It's called Mavericks, and she got hooked on paddle, and now she does something similar to that, but in the mind space world, so for mental health. So people suffering with mental health or not in a good place in their life right now, or the environment that they're in, she does free paddle for them as well, and she's partnered up with some clubs in the UK as well to do that. So I know two people, Jason and Charlotte Gilly, that have both done some big movements in paddle and kind of gone down that route, which I think is really amazing. And again, she was one of the first people that I helped get on court, and I think she played with us for the first time. And again, it's amazing to see, and so yes, I think that kind of goes on that route. But I agree, I haven't seen anything like that in Dubai.
Big up yourself, Jason and Charlotte. Keep doing it. Keep fighting the good fight. We love that. Let's just finish off. We're talking about the future. So what excites you the most about I Love The Padel Pro, C&C partnership? What can we do? Let's get a takeaway right now. Finishing off the podcast. What can we do as a team, as a pair, to do something that has impact?
Do you know what? I think we shouldn't discredit what we're doing at the moment, because the community that we're all bringing together and everything shouldn't be discredited. And I just think right now, me and you need to get a date in the diary for a girls versus guys. We need D level though, I think, for our girls. I'd say that my paddle community at the moment are more at the beginner stage.
Yeah.
So if you've got some beginner guys that will happily play my beginner girls, I think you guys are a bit stronger than that.
I've got guys, they are stronger than that. But I've got guys, I think, right, I'm going to throw it out there. I think me and you should start like a paddle traffic light pie where you come on court.
Tell me more.
So this is what I want to do. We do three things, right? That's six, but we do three. Number one thing I want to do with you. Number one is I want to do a weekly business paddle coffee court connect together at Padel Pro. We'll start inside and we'll start in the next few weeks. Coffee Court Connect, where women in business come along at the meet and they network and they help each other out. So that's a business group for women, right? That's number one. Number two is a social with coaching. So it's like you can either, and it could be men, women, but it's a social, but a couple of courts of coaching. The rest of the course is just social and chilling and getting to each other. And the third one is the C&C Love The Padel traffic light paddle pie. Tunes, and when you come in, you get a badge, and you can have a green, a yellow, amber, or a red. Red if you're taken, you're not available. Yellow if you may be interested, and green if you want to meet someone.
Are we talking about dating?
In traffic light paddle.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so I think we do this
Pop a
together.
green one on here. I'll take that.
Well, we'll see. I'll see what colour mine is. see where we're at. I don't think I'm ready for another relationship. It's too hard work in Dubai. But I might have a yellow. I'll take a yellow. We'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at with stuff.
This.
So yeah,
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Are we in?
You heard it here first.
Right, high five.
You heard it here first.
High five. Right, that's a high five.
I'll break a quick one.
It's gonna happen, right? So, finishing off.
We've got the players. We've got the facility, Alex. We've got the mindset. We've got the energy. I always think why do people do well? Because not all the time, but don't quote me on this. I'm no business guru, but the people that do well, the ones that just do it. I'm like, how do they do that? And I'm like, because one day they just actually just did it.
Make it happen. We made the JG Cup happen. Made the Corkware Cup
amazing.
happen.
That's amazing.
Now we're gonna make traffic light paddle a real thing. Come on, I'm there with you.
Love it.
Let's do it. Right. So finishing off the podcast, right? I'm gonna ask you for your recommendations, right? So recommendations for people coming to Dubai who listen to the podcast. Number one. What is something that everybody coming to Dubai should do? So give me one thing that everyone coming to Dubai should do.
Play paddle.
As well as somewhere to go see. Is it a boat? Is it what? Just give me one
Kite
thing.
Beach.
Kite Beach. There you
Kite
go.
Beach. I
Why?
think Dubai is very, very built up, and it can be very fake, and I think it really grounds you there. You're by the ocean. I just think it's just the best place. I love Kite Beach. I think it's amazing to clear your head. There's also really fit guys to look at when you walk up and down. And it's just a great place. Kite Beach, for sure. Good vibes, good energy. You get good content there. Love it.
Best place to get a coffee in Dubai.
Oh.
You a coffee guru kind of girl?
No, I was going to say, switch it to matcha, and you've got me.
Go on. Best place for a
But that's
matcha?
actually also because I stopped drinking coffee after we had a talk at Padel Pro about like health and wellness, and this very lovely lady told us that it was bad, so I stopped. Matcha, I don't have a place. I want to try the new place actually on Kite Beach.
Just love a matcha.
I don't have a place. I don't have one. The Matcha Lab on
Favorite restaurant
Kareem.
in Dubai.
You can't get it.
Matcha Lab on Kareem. There you go. Favorite restaurant in Dubai.
Shimmers.
Shimmers.
Shimmers on Jumeirah Beach.
Shimmers and Jumeirah Beach.
Amazing.
There you
Go for sunset. Perfect.
go. Last but not
And there's
least,
sports actually further down as well that you can go and play and then have a wine after.
best paddle club that is not Padel Pro. We all know Padel Pro is the best, but what is the best paddle club? If you had to go somewhere else to check it out, where else? You can give someone else a shout out. It's allowed.
Well, I'll say Space in England. I wouldn't shout out anyone else in Dubai.
People come.
I can't.
You can't. All right. Well,
But I wouldn't. There's nowhere better than. And you've got 3 choices with Padel Pro as well. So I'm not even just giving you one: Jumeirah Park, Al Quoz, or One Central,
I love
and
that.
more to come. So
love
I'm
that.
loyal to the core to them. I wouldn't tell anyone to go anywhere else. And if you go anywhere else, you're not going to see me or Ali or David.
Love that.
So
Well, make sure you're checking her out. Make sure you're checking C&C Padel out. She is the Padel Queen. She is a legend. She is Charlie Linas. Thank you very much. Episode 2. That is a wrap. Thank you so much, Charlie. Love you long time.
appreciate it. We'll see you all on court.
That was awesome.